Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Here we go. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. Oh, I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. What this life is about. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Here we go. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. It's about love and it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love and it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love and it's about service, it's about lending a hand. Lending a hand. Woo! Here we go. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors and let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Welcome to Unity Comox Valley. You are welcome here no matter where you are on your spiritual path. You will find yourself in good company here. So what does bring you here today? Perhaps longing to hear an idea that will inspire you or perhaps cause you to think. Perhaps just to remember that you are not alone, that we are not alone, that we are made for these times. Whatever your reason is, thank you for being here today. Thank you for being part of this spiritual community. We have a mission statement at Unity Comox Valley, and it goes like this. And if you know it, would you please join me? Unity Comox Valley is a loving, caring community coming together for spiritual growth and renewal. We actively and consciously serve others by radiating God's love and joy in our daily lives. So thank you for showing up and being this presence, this light, this activity of spirit in the world. Let's just bring that thought into our opening prayer. If you would join me, please. And we know that prayer links us heart to heart, soul to soul, whether or not we are in the same location. It doesn't matter. We take a moment now to center ourselves in this awareness of our oneness. The divine nature that we all share, that is equally beautiful, powerful, all-loving, all-knowing. We know that as we tap into this understanding and explore it and deepen our understanding of what it means to be a spiritual being as well as a human being, we know that when we do this, that the outcome is always good. We see ourselves in a different light. We see each other in a different light. We see the world differently. And it's so important these days to remember who we are, what we are, and what is possible. And so that in this knowing, we say thank you and amen. Before we have our next song, we're going to see and hear Terry read the daily word for today, November 22nd.
Hi, I am doing the daily word, daily reading for Sunday, November 22nd, 2020. And the word today is forgive. And the affirmation for today is, in the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. And the reading, if I hold on to the feelings of hurt, betrayal, or anger in response to another person's words or actions, I block the flow of divine love and peace in my life. Likewise, holding on to the guilt, shame, or embarrassment that may arise when I have hurt another person also keeps me from experiencing divine love and peace. Forgiveness removes all barriers, all obstacles, anything that may be disrupting my experience of the divine presence. In order to forgive myself or another person, I need not justify or approve behavior that is unwelcome. I need only to become willing to forgive. In the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. I feel the healing power of divine love as it dissolves all barriers, all illusions of separation. I forgive and I am healed. And from Matthew, and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. And again, the affirmation for today is, in the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu es l'image de Dieu. I hold you in my heart. Tu es l'image de l'amour. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. the face of God, the face of God. I hold you in my heart, you in my heart. You are a part of me, a part of me. You are the face of God, the face of God. You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
La luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are
God.
the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
God. You are the face
Oh,
of
c'est
God.
la luz de Dios.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of God.
es Judaï.
You are the
About 30 years ago, a word came onto the scene. And this word was not unknown to us. We had heard of it before, but we just really didn't use it much. We didn't talk about it. And that word is compassion. I think it was when the Dalai Lama started traveling and speaking more and more publicly that we became more familiar with this word, because he talked a lot about compassion, and it's often a word that we associate with the Dalai Lama. When I was in my early 20s, I heard about the Dalai Lama and about the Tibetans and about their escape from Tibet, coming over the Himalaya mountains and finally finding refuge in northern India. And when I heard the story of their plight and what their lives were like, I thought, I want to go there. I want to help out in any way that I can. So I thought that would happen sooner, but it actually took quite a long time for that dream to come true. And about in 2005, Joseph and I made the first trip to India. We thought it would be our only trip there to volunteer with the Tibetan Buddhist refugees, and it turned out it became much, much more to us than that. We traveled high into the Himalayas to a small town where the Tibetan Buddhists live, the refugees live, and where His Holiness the Dalai Lama lives. And we just showed up and said, put us to work. We're here for 4 months. Well, being in India for the first time, did have was quite shocking to me in many, many ways, and in many other ways it felt much like home for me. So I saw people living the best way that they could under the circumstances of their lives. Desperately poor people, men, women, children, were always asking me for money. And it took some time for me to come to some kind of resolution about what I would do about this. Yes, I had a lot of money compared to everyone else in this small town. Yes, I could give it all away to the next 20 people who asked me. And then I would need to go home, since I would have no money to live in the town any longer. Of course, I could not give away my money and then use what I had to live on and volunteer with the Tibetans for 4 months. And that's what we did. Joseph volunteered at the offices of the Tibetan government in exile. He helped them out with their computers and their technology, gave them lots of support and training on how to safely and more efficiently run their computers and that kind of infrastructure to the government. The time that he spent there made a big difference in their operations, and in so doing that also made a big difference in the lives of the Tibetans. Every day I taught the monks and the nuns English. And I would go to the monastery, I would go to the nunnery, I'd meet monks in coffee shops, and we would have our lessons together, and many of them had told me their stories about coming over the Himalayas and finally landing in northern India. Through my time with the nuns, and one particular nun inspired me to start a nonprofit society when I came back to Canada. And we raised funds to send Tibetan children to school, to pay for their school fees, which was very, very small amount of money, but it was impossible for them until we supported them, and many, many children went through school because of that. So was I compassionate when I didn't give my money to the poor people? Or was it compassionate of me to give my resources and time to help the community in another way? It is not so simple as do this and you are a compassionate person. If you don't do this, you are not. It's interesting to see where the word compassion comes from. It means literally to suffer with another. To suffer with another. So as human beings, we all suffer. And we all suffer the same things. Loneliness, despair, hopelessness, guilt, regret, loss. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter how rich or poor you are. It doesn't matter what you do for a living or what your circumstances are. We all share these human experiences. And if we are willing, we can recognize their suffering as our suffering. So what stops us from feeling this oneness with others? Didn't take me long to come up with a list. Judgment, criticism, righteousness, blame, opinions. Anything that causes separation will make it impossible for us to be compassionate. Because compassion is about being with each other, not apart from each other. I have a little story I'm going to share from a rabbi. This comes from the book Spiritual Literacy. An old rabbi once asked his students how they could tell when the night had ended and the day had begun. Could it be, asked one of the students, when you can see an animal in the distance and tell whether it is a sheep or a dog? No, answered the rabbi. Another asked, could it be when you can look at a tree in the distance and tell whether it's a fig tree or a peach tree? No, answered the rabbi. Well, then what is it? Demanded the students. It is when you can look on the face of any man or woman and see that it is your sister or brother. Because if you cannot see this, it is still night. When you can look on the face of any man or woman and see that it is your sister or brother. Because if you cannot see this, it is still night. So let's step out of the darkness and expand our capacity for compassion. We can do a few things. Simple things, but maybe not so easy. We keep our eyes open. We keep our ears open. We keep our minds open. We keep our hearts open. Notice the theme, open. We need to learn to notice when we are closing down. And it's often a feeling in the body. It could be a tightness in the chest, or a sick feeling or a tightness in our gut and in our stomachs, or our breathing becomes erratic. These are all signs, and you know, and I'm sure you know what yours are, that you're starting to get tense, that you're getting anxious, that you are closing down. Take a simple, conscious breath. We can begin to shift this in a second once we recognize it by taking a simple, conscious breath. As we breathe, we can sense this feeling fade or shift. And we can see clearly that it had no reality, no permanence. It was only real when we made it real. And now, with this new awareness, we can let it go and bring ourselves back to the heart of compassion. Compassion has many faces, and it can look different for each one of us. So notice what you notice. Our community outreach team is involved in learning about and making us aware of the opportunities to help those less fortunate in the valley. They do this of their own free will. It is how they are called to make a positive difference in the world. It is what opens their hearts. It is it's a natural part of them, right? It's not forced, they didn't have to go find it. It's just what flows out of them. Not everyone needs to be on this team. The team will attract those who are already aligned with this conduit of compassion. Something else might call to you. Volunteering at a food bank or a soup kitchen where you can see people. Volunteering at the hospital where you can greet people with warmth and with a smile. Or perhaps it's through your financial support. Every good cause requires money to do its work. Giving money can be an avenue of compassion. Notice what grabs your attention. Perhaps it's environmental initiatives here or around the world, human rights organizations, children welfare causes. Compassion can be as simple as looking into someone else's eyes, even without speaking. I'm sure you have all had the experience of walking around in our valley and someone who is sitting on the sidewalk say to you, "Have a nice day." And what a gift it would be if we would just stop and pause and look into their eyes and say, "Thank you." This is an act of compassion. Another example of an act of compassion is witnessing, being present for others. In 2010, I took a trip to Vietnam with my younger brother. Although Vietnam is a beautiful place, we were not there as tourists. We were traveling with a small group of Vietnam veterans with an organization called Soldier's Heart. So the mission of Soldier's Heart is to bring veterans back to their service area and to create opportunities for them to see and be in the environment without the war. It is a mission of healing and reconciliation. My brother wanted to go for his own healing, and he asked me to join him, and so I did. We were a group of about 14 people. That included the husband and wife founders of Soldier's Heart, who are psychologists and specializing in PTSD. There were veterans and some of their family members. We were a mixed group from all over North America. It turned out that more than half of the group, and this particular group, were Native Americans. And so Native American veterans. And so they brought their healing ceremonies with them as well. So the trip had two main focuses. One was meeting with Vietnamese veterans. It was breathtaking to see American vets warmly welcomed and to listen. We sat around the table. I listened many times to them sharing the horrors and the price of war. I saw them laugh together. I saw them embrace. I saw there were no sides. They were one, brothers. The other focus of the trip was to return vets to their areas of action and to give them time to see it with new eyes, to get a new picture, to replace the memories of a war-ravaged countryside full of bombs, bomb craters, and devastation. And walk the ground as a civilian, seeing the land lush and green again, seeing the productive rice fields, seeing villagers walking with their water buffaloes plowing the fields, a land of peace. And we would stop all day long. We would be stopping and hearing stories, lots of stories. We'd be driving along and all of a sudden one of the guys would say, "Stop, stop, this looks familiar. I think I recognize something here. I think I was here, and we would pull over and stop, and they would tell their story. This is part of the healing journey, is to speak the unspeakable. Memories of what had been, what they saw, what they did. In this safe, compassionate environment of witnesses, each man could let go and discharge all the horrors and the nightmares that he had been carrying silently for over 40 years. It was powerful. It was healing. It was the beginning of hope. So I bring this up because I mentioned that being present as a witness to someone's suffering is a powerful act of compassion. I spent countless hours, we all did, on beaches, in rice fields, in rice paddies, on the side of the road, listening, witnessing. We were silent, no words, no actions, just standing there in a circle with an open heart, prepared to be with another in their suffering. How did I end up there? By wanting to be a person of compassion. I wanted to support my brother. You too can be a person of compassion. Notice what you notice. Stay open to the opportunities as they present themselves. If you make this commitment, you will find a way, or a way will find you. So as I said earlier, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, keep your mind open, keep your heart open, and you'll know the next step.
One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation. We are one, one heart. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation, we are one, one heart. And even though it seems we are so far apart, and many times we're feeling all alone, the truth of who we are has been here from the start. We are one heart, one heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation, we are one, one heart. All creation celebrate. One heart, all creation celebrate.
God is, and we are, here and now, as we begin this period of prayer and contemplation. Breathing out, I release the past. In trust, I lay down cares and concerns from a moment ago, just breathing them away. Breathing in, I open my heart and mind, drinking in the spirit of this now moment. In quiet peace, I pause. My every thought is in harmony with divine love. As I quiet my mind in prayer, I envision every thought bathed in divine love, the harmonizing power. Thoughts transform in the presence of harmonizing love, and I'm able to see a way where I thought there was no way. I'm able to hold my heart open in compassion. I am a radiating center of spiritual peace. At the core of my being, I am peace. Let's hold that thought for a moment. At the core of my being, I am peace. My peaceful mind swiftly calms turbulent thoughts so that I may think clearly. My peaceful heart generously embraces my human family. My heart of compassion extends to everyone. Each face I see is the face of God. Each story tells my story, a message about hope and courage and overcoming. I am one with all humanity. I am one with all humanity. In peace, I flow from moment to moment with love and compassion. As I cultivate spiritual understanding, I am more open-hearted and open-minded each day. I open wide the doors of my heart so that I might live in peace with all people. I am one with and now demonstrate loving kindness. As we close this session of prayer and contemplation, we breathe a breath of appreciation for the truth that renews and refreshes us. Knowing our oneness with Spirit, with all good, and knowing our divine faculties of harmony, life, wisdom, compassion, we peacefully proceed into the hours and days ahead. Let's conclude with a prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is. Amen.
One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation. We are one, one heart. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation, we are one, one heart. And even though it seems we are so far apart, and many times we're feeling all alone, the truth of who we are has been here from the start. We are one heart, one heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation, we are one, one heart. All creation celebrate. One heart, one heart. All creation celebrate.
Yes, you are the face of God. And so is your best friend. And so is the person who is driving you crazy. And so is the person that you think is the worst person in the world. With compassion, we can start to see everyone through the eyes of love. And now we're going to hear a thought from Seneca that she sent on. Asked us to consider these questions. What would the world look like if everyone knew what was not love was fear? What would the world look like if everyone understood that there are no accidents in the universe? Years ago, I remember hearing a news story of a police incident in a large city. Shots were fired, people were killed, and one of the perpetrators escaped and broke into a woman's apartment. She was a longtime student of the spiritual works, and she was able to calm him and to restore sanity. With his consent, she called the police and advocated for his safe arrest. What are the odds that this man would come to the door of someone who is able to help him? I cannot help but wonder why this man, why this woman, two terrified people, one was able to regain sanity to help the other. Perhaps over the course of hours, judgments were laid aside, trust developed, calm restored, love replaced fear. And by the grace of God, 2 lives were saved. Fear can mask itself in many disguises: anxiety, despair, depression, greed, trepidation, frustration, scorn, ridicule. The list is endless. But it is all fear-based. When we remember that, we can create a better world. Instead of getting defensive or arguing, we can react with concern, sympathy, and compassion. Just imagine for a moment, what would the world look like if we perceived fear as only a lack of love, a call for help? What would the world look like if there was no fear? Thank you, Seneca, for sending that to us, and certainly have given us lots to think about. It's very inspiring. So please, if you have some thoughts or some kind of inspirational message, please email them to us so that I can share them here in these celebration services. So what's coming up? This is the time of year, you probably remember, that we are usually very actively involved in our Christmas hamper program. Our community outreach team has provided all the information you need to still be a part of this program, this vital and valuable program. All the details are in the newsletter, so please read the newsletters. And don't forget, every Sunday at 10:30 in the morning, there's a drop-in Zoom chat. The theme for November is peace. So we're talking about all kinds of aspects of peace. What is peace? What is not peace? What's world peace? Does peace really start within? What are the faces of peace? What does it look like? So please join us 10:30 on Sunday mornings. The Zoom link for that meeting is also in the newsletter. Unity Comox Valley is a self-supporting organization. Your gifts make it possible for us to continue to bring the unity message of spiritual transformation and empowerment to all those who are seeking this path. We receive these gifts with thanks, knowing that joy flows from the giving, love grows from the sharing, and faith blossoms from the receiving. So with gratitude in your minds and hearts, would you please join me? Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. I'd like to share a blessing with you now as we end this celebration service. Get on my specs. So it's from this book called Listen, Beloved by Martha Smock. It's called Your Song of Life. With every beat of your heart, with every breath you draw, you sing a song of life. All the forces of your being, every atom and cell, join in this song of life, like a mighty heavenly chorus. You sing a song of life, and there is no discord in you. There is perfect agreement with the good. There is willing acceptance of life. There is healing in mind and body. You sing a song of life. There is no fear in you. There is perfect trust. There is absolute reliance on God, on Spirit, at work in you. You sing a song of life. You are strengthened and restored in every part. You sing a song of life, and you feel enfolded in divine love. You feel blessed, upheld, sustained, and comforted. You sing a song of life, and life sings its song in you. Have a wonderful week. We'll end this service with the song, Do All You Can. See you next week. Namaste.
He put a face on AIDS, told his story to the world till he died. And these are the words he said. He said, do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can. Holy Mother from India, helping the sick and the poor. Somebody asked, why do you do these things? She said, this is what I came here for. She said, do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can. This is a gift they gave to us to share wherever we go. Be the change you wish to see in this world. Now I understand what they wanted us to know. You can do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can. One little boy in Africa, do all you can. Holy Mother from India, do all you can. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Do all you can. Do all you can. Do all you can.
Here are some of the ways you can stay connected with your spiritual community. You can send a thought of the day. You can read the daily word. You can make a song request. If you don't know the title, just send a phrase or a couple of words and we'll find it for you. You can sign up for our weekly newsletter, which includes updates from Unity Comox Valley and also resources from all around the Unity movement. Email us at info@unitycomoxvalley.com. Write to me, to the board. We want to hear from you.